Hi, welcome to Mindful Conversations. My name is Greg Dwyer. I'm so excited you're tuning in right now. The topic today is coaching. Now, when you hear the word coaching, you probably think of Little League or you think of a sport. I know when I was a kid, we had a coach that would tell us what to do. But today we're going to talk about strategic coaching. Well, what's a coach? A coach is a person that is objective, that can see the big picture, and they can advise you about what to do in your life, whether it's personal or whether it's business. Now think about it this way. Anything that you want to do, there's probably someone out there that is already doing it. And the shortest way for your success, if you want to close the gap, is to find someone that is doing or has done what you want to do. And you work with them and you sit with them and you console with them, and they console with you, actually. So today for lunch, my friend James Mapes and I got together because he's a friend of mine. He also coaches me, but he was working with someone from California this weekend for 2 days. And on the second day, he actually put on a performance because James is a master of hypnosis, a master of speaking, a master of teaching people how to do mentalism. So he was able to coach this young man how to be even better than he is. So today we're going to hear from Maria Bird. She is a motivational speaker. She's a strategic coach, and she's going to talk about life coaching. She's also going to talk about sales coaching, and you're going to love what she has to say. So you're definitely going to want to tune in. So this is how I think. If this is your life, which is a diamond in the middle, I really think that life is about expanding out in many, many different directions. If you're here, you probably want to think bigger. You want to expand out in this direction, and all of these different directions so that you can reach your full potential. Now, there are many different categories in life, and I want you to think about it this way. As a circle. So here I have a circle, and in the middle is that diamond. And there are different categories of improvement. This is physical, like your physical body or your health. This is work or your career. This is money or finances. This is family and friends. This is time. This is emotions. This is fun. And this is travel. Now, these are just 8 categories that I came up with today. You could have some for your personal life. You could have some for your career life or your business life. You can come up with many different categories. But when I was drawing this today, I thought to myself, how many categories would apply to everyone? Well, obviously, if you're looking at this one right here, everyone has to be concerned about their health. Everyone has to be concerned about their weight or how they're doing physically. The same thing with work and money, time, family, friends, emotions, maybe travel, maybe you don't travel, or at least fun. So the way that we look at this, the way we think about this is pretty simple. If the center is 0 and the outer rim is 10, so I'll put 10 here, this is kind of like a score. So if you're looking at just this piece of the pie, if this was a pizza pie, you'd just be looking at this one slice. So what I would encourage you to do, grab a piece of paper, draw a circle on it, and then divide the circle into different categories and come up with your own categories. But right now we'll start with physical because everyone listening to me right now can relate to this. So this would be like 1, this would be like 2, this would be like 3, and as we get out, this is halfway mark, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is 10. So when you think about your physical life, your body, your health, where are you at? So if you think you're doing really well in your life, then you would say 10, which is right here, and this is the mark that you would make on this wheel of life. But maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm not healthy, I'm overweight, things aren't going well in my health or my exercise routine or whatever you're doing, then you would probably be down here or maybe down here, and then you would shade that in. So wherever you are is where you are. Now, this is completely subjective, and this definitely does change over time. And I always encourage people to take a look at this maybe every 6 months or maybe every 12 months just to see where they're at with their weight or with their health, their physical life. So what you would do is subjectively just rate yourself. If you think you're doing really well, maybe you're up here. And then you would just color that in, just like that. Then you'd move on to the next category, work. Maybe you're out of work. You would be down here. Maybe you love your career, something you studied, went to college for, you've done a lot of time and a lot of energy, put time and energy into it, and maybe you're really successful with your career and you love it. You love what you do. So you would be way out here and you would color that in. Or maybe you're not satisfied with your work or your job or career. You've been at it for 40 years or 20 years and you want to improve. You want to move out here, but you know this is where you're at. So you're honest with yourself. And now you can do this yourself, or you can also do it with a coach. You can hire someone that will walk you through this. Then money. Money is a big thing. A lot of times people struggle with money. There's more month than there is money. People struggle. They put a lot of debt on credit cards. They can't get out of it. It's a spiral. So money is really important. In fact, all of these things so far that we're talking about are pretty much mandatory. Your health, your life, what you do for a living, and money. Let's face it, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, these things are going to apply to you. So you have to be honest, and this is not easy. How are you doing? Do you balance your checkbook if you have one? Or if you go online, are you aware of how much money is coming in per month? Are you aware of how much you're spending? Do you have a budget? Do you have more money than you need? Do you give to charity? How do you feel about money? That's really important. So you would rate yourself. If you're doing really well, you'd be way out here. If you're not doing well, you would be over here. Now, there's no judgment in this. This is just about reflection. This is just about you coming to an understanding of where you think you are subjectively. Someone else might look at you and say, oh, you're way out here, you're doing really well, compared to somebody living in Fiji making, $2 a month, right? It's all relative. It all depends on how you look at it. It's definitely subjective. Then the next one is family and friends, which is really important. Your social connections. Do you have friends? Do you have family? How do you connect? Do you connect? Can you call someone up at 2 o'clock in the morning if you're in trouble? Do you have support? This is really important. You might say, you know what? My family's gone. I don't have a lot of family. I have some friends. So you might be here, at 4 perhaps. Again, this is all subjective, because to improve this, all you'd have to do is become more friendly and make more friends. That's it, And so again, here's what you would do, is you would just color that in. The next one is time. Now, one of the things I talk about on this show, Mindful Conversations, is time, because it seems like we're always out of time. But we only have so much time in the day, right? And if you love what you do, time flies. But if you're stressed, and I think this has a lot to do with stress. If you're overworked, if you're working all the time and you have all these duties at home and you feel like you never have any time to be by yourself or to do what you want to do, you'd probably say you're down here. I mean, let's face it. You only have 24 hours in a day. That's it. 24 hours in a day. Everyone has 24 hours. But how do you emotionally connect with time? Are you always looking at your watch? Are you always running around thinking, I got to get this done, and you feel like you're falling behind? Or do you feel that you're managing your life in relationship to time? So again, it's subjective. Maybe you're a 2, or maybe you're saying, I'm doing really well. I think everything is pretty balanced. And that's what this is all about. It's about being balanced here with your physical life, being balanced at work, being balanced with your finances, with your family and friends, and obviously with time. The next one is emotions, and I think this is a really important one. When something happens to you, are you able to bounce back quickly? Let's face it, circumstances happen all the time, and a lot of these things are outside of our control. We can't control what happens to us. We can't. But someone that is really emotionally stable, someone that's out here like 9 or 10, they're able to reframe. They're able to see what happened and then to change their mind about it. Maybe they lose a job, maybe when someone dies, maybe they lose money, literally they drop $10 on the floor or something happens. Are you able to bounce back? Or does it ruin your day? Then you're probably down here. Or if it ruins your week, you're probably down here. Or if it ruins your decade, right? Something happens and you don't bounce back, you're probably way down here. So emotional health, I actually think, this is just my opinion, I actually think emotional health is right up there with physical health. You have to have physical health, but you also have to have emotional health. The next one is fun. Are you having fun with your life? Are you enjoying your life? Are you happy? And of course that's relative, right? It's subjective. Do you find that you enjoy this, your life? Are you depressed? Are you looking to substance to be happy, Are you looking for things that really won't make you happy? Are you having fun? Well, you could be a 5, or you could be down here, or you could be way out here. Again, this is all subjective. Sometimes you have fun, the next day you have to work. So this is all subjective. And then lastly, I put in travel, because for me, travel is fun. I love to go to Israel. Just got back from Ireland. I'm heading off to Israel in 99 days. So I'm really excited about that. And it could be going to the Cape. It could be going to New York City. That could be fun for you. Maybe you absolutely just love to travel, or maybe you just love to stay home. So it's all subjective. So this wheel of life really is about you getting a snapshot of your life. Now what I do is I work with my clients, and I also work with myself to draw this out and then to connect the dots wherever it might be to see where you are on this wheel of life, and then to work to change it. So my guest today is Maria Bird. She's a coach. She doesn't play Little League, but what she does is she helps people increase these categories that we just looked at in personal life and also in business life. And she's able to be objective and walk you through it. I believe this with all of my heart. If you're really serious about doing these things, the key is to hire someone. We'll be right back after this break with Maria Bird. You're going to want to listen to what she has to say. Welcome to Mindful Conversations. I'm excited. Maria Bird's here. She is a strategic coach. Maria, thanks so much for spending time with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So we met years ago. We were at a conference, and I know you were studying being a coach. How in the world did you get involved in this? I mean, what was the thing that motivated you?
That motivated me? Well, I was going to a couple of women's groups, and I would sit in the back, and I would just watch and be a part of, what was happening in the group. And I would make suggestions as to how people could help themselves. And the person who was running the group said that I should teach a workshop. And I didn't want to teach a workshop. I really didn't. I was afraid to get up and speak in front of people. And eventually I got up and I did my first workshop, and I loved it. Nice. And I gained clients from that. Okay. And it's been a natural progression since then.
Excellent. So if people want to reach out to you, I know you're on social media, you have a website. How do they find you, first of all?
Well, first they can find me on my website, which is mariabird.com. That's MariaBird.com. And I'm on Facebook. Please send me a friend request. I would love that. And you can call me at 917-703-2454.
So you work with clients all over the world. I assume you're using Skype. You're not running around the country. People aren't coming to you all the time. You're doing this. How are you doing this? How are you coaching people?
Well, I coach people in my office. I also coach on Skype.
Okay.
I coach a few sales clients on Skype from Las Vegas.
Okay.
So, funny story.
Yeah, how'd that happen?
Okay, so I was going out to Las Vegas with a friend. We were staying at a at a hotel at a reduced price. And in order for me to stay at this hotel at this reduced price, I had to go to a timeshare appointment.
Yeah, I've done it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So they had scheduled my timeshare appointment in the middle of the day, and I was pretty upset.
Right.
Because there were certain things that I wanted to do. I'm an avid hiker, and I wanted to go to the Valley of Fire. So I figured, let me just go and let's see what kind of sales techniques that they use, because I was in sales. I've been in sales and finance, pretty much my whole adult career until I went into coaching. And also the class that we took with neuro-linguistic programming.
Yep, I remember.
Okay, so I use a lot of that, in my techniques. So I go down and I'm, waiting to see how she's going to sell me. What's the big sale,
Right.
Sure.
Sure.
And I was getting very disappointed because she really wasn't that good.
Oh, wow.
She was terrible. It was it was quite awful.
What was she doing wrong?
Well, the first question that she had asked me was, tell me what you've heard about timeshares.
Ah.
She said the good, the bad, and
And
the
the
ugly.
ugly. Oh, no,
And
okay.
as soon as she said the ugly,
You're like,
I said, oh, that's the wrong thing to,
Sure,
say to
sure,
somebody.
sure.
Because what if I never thought that there was anything ugly?
so she put that in your head.
Right.
Okay.
So she is putting that suggestion in my head.
Right.
And if she's doing that to me, she's doing that to other people who are sitting in front of her.
Wait a minute, did you buy the timeshare?
No, I did
okay.
not.
You did not buy
No,
it.
I did
Okay,
not.
Makes sense.
So-
That makes sense.
So I had asked her, after, being pretty disappointed, how long have you been doing this? And so she tells me that she's only been doing it for a year. And I said, okay. I said, I'm thinking to myself, I said, after a year, you should have some idea of
Sure.
what you're doing. I said, what got you into this? And so she tells me this story, and I mean, it was a horrible story. She was originally from New Jersey, and she was literally fleeing a bad situation with an ex-husband. So he was very abusive, and she was fleeing, and she went to Las Vegas to make a new start. And her friend had gotten her this position. So then I asked her, well, how are you doing?
Right.
And I knew what the answer
Sure.
was, and she tells me she's doing terrible, and that she was on probation, and and if she didn't sell, a certain number by the end of the month, and we were already in the middle of the month, that she was going to lose her job. So I said to her, I said, listen, I'm not going to buy from
So you didn't buy to help her out, but you helped her out in a different way.
I said, if you can get me out of here in a timely
That's funny. You said that to
I
her?
did.
Oh
I
my-
said, if you
that's
can
so
get
funny.
me out of here in a timely manner, I said, so I can go see the Valley of Fire,
Yeah.
I will teach you how to sell.
Oh, that's great.
I said, and I guarantee you,
That's
the
great.
next person that sits in this seat
Right.
will buy from you.
So how did you do that? Like, what did you do?
Well, I gave her some instructions on rapport.
Okay.
And so well, first of all, we did a matching mirroring
Okay.
kind of thing.
And what is matching and mirror? Because I know there's a lot of people that are watching this. When they think of matching and mirroring, they might not know what it is. So how do you explain it simply, really simply?
Well, really simply is when you are in rapport with somebody, when you're having a good time with somebody, you start to use the same movements at each other.
Oh, I see.
So see how
Yeah, we were doing that. Yeah.
right,
I
because
wasn't even thinking of that.
exactly,
Okay.
and we're in rapport.
Gotcha. All right.
So that's exactly what we're
So
doing.
are you saying that people should fake that until they connect, or what are you saying?
Well, it's not really faking it.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
you're getting to know the person that is in front of you. It's a way of communicating.
So you're talking their language.
You're talking their language.
okay.
Because sometimes, I can talk a certain language and you can talk a
Sure,
certain language
sure.
and there'll be no understanding.
Goes right past.
Exactly.
So how did you help her? Did you help her? Did she sell? What were the
Well,
results?
I did help her. So I gave her some instruction. We stayed there for 90 minutes. 90 minutes, and she took instruction really well.
Okay.
And so I left. I went to the Valley of Fire. I gave her my number. I gave her a bunch of cards because I told her. I said, "Listen," I said, "once you start selling," I said, "everybody's going to want to know
Sure.
what happened,
And then
you're going to give out my card."
Okay.
So I left, and there was 4 people after me. She sold 3 out of the 4.
Are you kidding?
And in 2 weeks, she sold 18.
Okay. Now, did you also bring her on as a client as well?
I brought her on as a client,
All right, okay.
and I gave her a little bit of a discount with each client that she had brought me.
That's wonderful. So, who's your perfect customers besides salespeople? Who looks for you? Who have you worked with? Give us examples. If people are watching, they may want to contact you to see if it's a good fit. So, who would that be?
The perfect client for me is actually people who are in transition, people who are looking to get raises.
I see.
Because what we're doing is we're selling ourselves.
Right.
And in order to sell yourself to get to a certain level, you have to know how to have rapport with the person. You have to know how to speak their language. You have to also have confidence in yourself and hold yourself a certain way.
Sure.
So I teach people how to hold themselves and bring the power within out, and so other people can see that.
And I see that you're doing that. Like, you practice what you preach. You're confident. You know what you're talking about. And I would think that people would be attracted to that, and they would find you.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe
It's like
so.
magic. It's just things happen, and you wonder how it happened, and it just happened, which is wonderful. Now, I talked about the wheel of life. Do you use that? I don't know if you use that with your clients.
No, I don't. I don't really use. Okay.
What's your model? What's the model?
My model.
Yes.
Okay, is the 5 R's.
Oh, okay.
5 R's to realization. So the first R is to recognize what you want.
All right.
You have to recognize what you want in order to get that.
All right.
Not only do you have to recognize what you want, you have to recognize what is stopping you. You have to recognize who are your friends, who are your enemies, who wants to see you succeed, who doesn't.
Okay.
And after you recognize all of that, you go into the second R, which is we're going to release.
All right, release.
So there are yes. So when you recognize what is stopping you, we're going to do some exercises about releasing all of the blocks that are stopping.
So it's like
you.
baggage, getting
Yes.
rid of things. And,
Actually, it's not baggage.
It's not baggage?
I don't call it baggage.
All
All right, because we all have a little bit of baggage.
we all do.
Right? We're getting rid of the garbage.
What's the difference?
The difference is sometimes we have things, like luggage. We have luggage. We travel around with luggage,
Which is okay.
which is fine.
Okay.
But you have to decipher, and this is in the recognition portion, what is, the garbage, and what do you have to keep with you? I mean, there are single mothers out there, and they have children. That is, it's not baggage. I wouldn't call that baggage.
Okay.
But
Right.
it's luggage. This is something that you are going to be bringing with you for the rest of your life
Sure.
until adulthood, and even then,
Right.
After,
So what's the next one?
But what
What's
is
the
the
next one?
garbage? Oh, the next one. Okay, so the next one is responsibility.
All right.
You have to take responsibility for yourself.
That's great. That's great.
Yes. So after you release.
Release.
Yes, after you release, so you're going to release, the blocks. You're going to release the people that are holding you back. You're going to release. Now you're taking responsibility, because now everything is on you.
Wow. Is there another step, or is that it?
No, there is another step.
Okay. What's the next one?
Well, while you're going for your goals, you have to remember to rest.
Rest.
Yes.
Okay.
People forget to rest. People forget to rest and rejuvenate, and
Okay.
Yes.
Is there another one, or is that it? There's another one.
Last one.
Okay, go ahead.
Last one, because there's 5.
And then you got to recap.
It's recess.
Recess? What is
no,
that?
I'm sorry. Reassess.
Reassess. Okay.
Reassess.
What does that mean?
Well, sometimes we create goals that are a little bit more than we can handle.
Gotcha.
So you're going for your goal, and every week or maybe every month,
Right.
you might want to look and reassess how it's going.
Okay, that makes sense. So recap the how many are there?
5.
So
There's
recap the 5 real quick.
Okay, so there is recognize,
Yep.
release,
Right.
responsibility,
Yep.
there's rest, and reassess.
Excellent. So mariabird.com, that's how they can find you.
Yes.
I know we're almost out of time. Now, before the show, I asked you to think of 7 things that you would be grateful for. And I didn't say, think of this or think of that. Just think of 7 things, right? And you sat
Right.
for like 5 minutes and you thought of 7 things.
I thought of 7 things.
And then I asked you of all the 7 things to pick just how many? 1. All right. And to think about that.
Right.
And then to sit down. So let's see if this will happen. You did not share this with me.
No.
You did not talk to the producer. You didn't talk to
No,
anybody.
no,
Nobody
definitely not.
knows what's in between your 2 ears as far as what you're thinking about. So I want you to think about exactly what it is that you are grateful for right now.
Well-
And let's see if I can just get in tune with you and figure exactly what it is. Now, before I do this, let me ask you something.
Okay.
Got a big smile on your face. Does August 15th mean anything to you?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so tell me what that means to you, August 15th.
August 15th is my daughter's birthday.
Okay, so what I think you are grateful for is your family or your children. Is your children? Is it what you were?
How did you do that?
Okay, well, there's more. This is interesting. So today, what is today? Today is August. What is it? 20th?
I think so,
Okay,
yes.
today is August 20th,
20th.
and this is going to air August 26th for the very first time. So you're going to want to watch it. So today is August 20th. If you go to Mindful Conversations on Facebook, all you have to do is go on Facebook, type in Mindful Conversations, and go through the feed of Mindful Conversations. You'll see all these things that I posted. And on August 15th, the day that your daughter was born, I actually said that I'm so grateful that you're going to be on the show now, today. And I also said that you would be grateful for your children. We are totally out of time.
my
Look at that.
goodness.
Thank you so much for being on this.
Thank you.
This was wonderful.
Yes.
So thanks.